wanted to come on to remind you how powerful you are, okay? Um, I don't know, so many people are feeling so disempowered, and we came here for this, all right? Like, before we're born, we have our soul groups, and we're talking to our soul groups, and we're deciding who our family is going to be and who we're going to meet up with along the way and stuff like that. And we have choices with things, right? Like, we could stay or go in relationships and change things up. um, we can never control other people. We can't control all the things out in the world and stuff like that, so there's no sense in even trying. But when we get almost like self-control and self-leadership, we can actually make our lives a fair bit better. So um, yeah, I don't know. Money stuff's coming up. I just let my peeps talk, right? Like, I don't channel like a lot of other people do. A lot of people get all quiet and they close their eyes and they talk different and do all this stuff. And I don't do it that way. I don't know. Maybe it's because I never, I never learned how to channel, and I never took classes on channeling or anything like that. I've just been doing it kind of my whole life, and I just listen and it comes through. So half of the time, I don't know, when I'm interacting with people, I can't tell if it's even me channeling or if it's my personality. Like, I actually have to pay attention to differentiate between the two sometimes. um, I've been talking to friends before and gone off on some tangent and talked, and they tell me later that they knew it wasn't really just me and my personality talking. They could tell it was their own peeps. And yeah, like, I don't know, my assistant will send me a text and she'll say, I know you don't remember saying this to me because it wasn't really you. So, but it was really helpful that she tells me something that happened or something like that. So basically, it's like, I don't know, half of the time I don't know. But my peeps are mentioning money and disempowerment around money. And I had somebody say to me the other day, well, it's only money, money doesn't matter. And I hate to tell you this, but on the earth we're living on right now, it really matters. Um, if you find yourself saying things like, oh, well, money doesn't matter, or um, I don't know, just random things like that about money, you're never going to have any, right? Because you're just not. You're pushing it away when you say money doesn't matter. Things like that don't matter. So it's like, I think, oh, okay, we're going all over the map here, but it's like with the the Earth, the planet. We came here for this, okay? There's a lot of you watching this that kind of like heard the call. You're probably not even originally from Earth, but you heard the call, and it was like Earth needs help with this ascension, and it's kind of been taken over by nefarious things, and we need to come and help the Earth and people on it. So um, we came, right? So if you came for that, then keep doing your work because it's really, really important. Um, yeah, I swear that these guys came down. Like, say, whether they're humans or not, I couldn't tell you for sure. I don't even care to look, to be honest with you. It's, to me, it's almost irrelevant. But it seems like there's a bunch of old white men that are telling us, through religions and through politics and everything else, that money's not important, right? Meanwhile, they're taxing us, and money is important to them, but they've seemed to convince the masses that stuff like money isn't important and 3D things aren't important. And it's like, the way our planet is set up right now, it is kind of important. It's like, if if you if you can't get what you need, if you can't get your needs met, a home, safety, security, think root chakra issues, okay, then you can't flourish. We need to be flourishing here, okay? So take a strong look at what your beliefs might be, and whether or not you're pushing away the things that you need in your life, because it's been programmed into humans that it's not important. There are some things that are important. Now, when I talk about money like this, it's money's not the most important thing. Okay? Like, we don't put money over humanity or other people, right? People come before money. I mean, you don't mess with people and, just so you can get rich, unless you're one of these old white guys that set up the system this way, right? But wanting more in your life isn't selfish. Striving for things in your life, it's not selfish, right? I'm not presently wealthy by any means, but I do have a home, right? And with my home, I can actually take care of my family, right? Like, I have space, and if my family is in trouble, they can live with me, right? Because I prioritize basically the needs, the safety of people, right? You can't help people in that way if you think money is a bad thing, right? Or if you say money doesn't matter. It's like, I'm sorry, it does, right? Like, if I had none, I wouldn't have this home, and I wouldn't be able to take care of people. I wouldn't be able to do readings out of my home. I wouldn't have a space for that if I was homeless, right? So, yeah, like, anyway, my peeps wanted to talk about money, and to make sure you're not falling into the trap of like, it's not important at all, right? So anyway, back to what I was originally going to talk about, is we came here for this. We chose this. We chose our parents. We chose some of our circumstances. Okay, we live this life. We do have some choices in what we're doing day to day and what we're affirming day to day. Now, this doesn't mean that crappy stuff never happens to us, right? I've had some really crappy stuff happen to me in my life, right? Like, losing my husband and basically watching my husband die for 14 months was a pretty crappy experience. And then losing my best friend was a pretty crappy experience. And it's like, so there are some pretty nasty experiences. I chose an alcoholic heroin addict for a father, right? So my life could have gone either way, but I just perceive it now that I'm kind of closer to 60 than 50. But I just perceive that now is, I've gone through these things so I can help other people with things, right? So it's like, if my life was too easy, I don't think I could have the empathy that I have, or the understanding I have when somebody's in a stuck place, because we can sometimes get a little stuck, right? And it just happens. So the trick is to realize what a powerful creator you are. It's like, just imagine, okay, so you and your soul buddies are sitting on, we'll call it heaven, okay, sitting in heaven, and you're deciding on this lifetime. And if you're a particularly strong soul, or you've got some experience with some things, you're like, okay, I'm going to go down, and I need some challenges, right? Think of it like a video game. It's like, I need some challenges in this matrix so that I can overcome things. And it's like, I'm never going to lose my connection to source. I'm going to remember who I am, and I'm going to master this stuff. Thing is once we get here, it's so dense compared to the energy of source and all that is where we come from, right? It's night and day. And it's like, it is a little more difficult. It's like walking through quicksand, sometimes, the difference between heaven and earth. And we can lose our way, right? So our connection to source is so important, okay? And just if you could remember that, like I say, if we use the video game analogy, you came to play the game, and if you're playing the game, then you could veer off on whatever path you want. You could go into different rooms and you could do things like that, right? And when you can get into your heart space and really, like I say, I'm getting, just keep connecting to all that is where you came from, right? Like I say in my videos quite often, actually, I didn't realize how often I said this, but it's like we're all gonna die, right? Like we came here, it's an experience, and then we'll go home, and then we will look back and we'll be like, oh wow, you know, I wish I had remembered this stuff while I was there. But there are ways to remember it while you're here, like whether you want to meditate. I do these energy clearing and healings 4 times a year for 21 days, and it just seems to clear out all the crap out of your aura and your physical, emotional, mental bodies. Like it helps clear that stuff out. Hi, Ward. That's good. It's good you say you are. It's your game. You can do what you want with it. Seriously. So kind of keep doing that, right? Like just, I don't know, if there's stuff you don't like, redirect, right? Like I say, sometimes really nasty stuff happens to us, and you do have to deal with that. You don't want to shove it all down, right? And pretend it didn't happen, because then you just end up getting block energy, stuck energy, sick energy, physically and emotionally. So it's like, it's best if you deal with your feelings and if you're grieving, cry, let yourself grieve, right? Like, when my husband was sick, I don't know, I cried for 30 days straight, okay? Like, nonstop. And yeah, but I did it with the intention of letting it out and letting it come through, as opposed, like, I didn't want all of that grief stuck in me. It doesn't feel good when it's stuck in you, right? But I also never said that my life was over. I never said that this is killing me, okay? That piece is important, because those end up being affirmations, right? I would say something like, my life will be changed forever. I said things like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in this human lifetime. These things were true, right? But I did never say that I would never, ever get over it, right? And it's not like I no longer care and it's like, oh, over that, right? He was still a huge part of my life, and I honor that. But sometimes how you speak to yourself or get things stuck in your energy is just, I don't know, it's not cool. Like, you're just making, it ends up, I don't want to blame you, because grief is grief. It's hard. But it's, just watch how you're talking to yourself when you're going through crappy things, okay? Because how you're talking to yourself can change your vibration. And when you change your vibration, then it can change your trajectory, okay? So you don't want to send yourself off on a spiral, okay? One thing, like my peeps showed me this, I don't know, decades ago, but it's like we could get energy snowballs, right? So if you have negative thoughts or something going on that's negative, it can just, it can snowball. So if you think about, okay, I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad week, I'm having a bad year, I'm having a bad life, right? And it's like this big ball rolling down the hill getting bigger, right? You could do the same things with positive energy. So if you are feeling stuck, try and snowball the positive, right? Maybe have a little gratitude list, something like that, so that you can go in. Being grateful gets you into that heart space. Being in that heart space, along with a bit of your mind space, connects you to source, right? So the more you allow negativity to snowball, the the um, the bigger it gets and the more disconnected, right? So, okay, so back to the power thing that I was talking about, how much, like, we are so powerful, you guys. Like, seriously, like magic, okay? You're magic. It's like poof. Like, most of us haven't mastered it, okay? Like, I haven't even mastered it to the point where I can, you know, say, poof, okay, here's a stack of money sitting on my desk or whatever, right? However, I've mastered it to the point where if I want or need something, I could get out of my own head, out of my own way, right? Like, I just had my website done. Cost a fair bit of money. I needed some extra money for that, right? Like, over and above what I already pay for all my stuff. So it's like I kind of got out of my own way. And every time I thought about, oh, I've got, like, where is this coming from or anything like that, I just sat back and I just reminded myself, like, it'll come, it's going to be fine, right? And then it did, right? It's like I didn't even have to do anything. I just sit and say, it'll come, and then it comes, right? And we can all do that. This is not a Tamara special thing. It's everybody can do this. You just have to master getting out of your own way, okay? Yeah, it's miraculous. The thing is most people, and it's from religion, politics, the news, everything that gets put out there like that. And it bombards us with how powerless we are or things we need to do, right? Like, you have to do it this way, or if you do it that way, you're selfish, or you're this, or you're that. And that's not true, right? Like, say, if you're doing better, you can help more people. How many clinically depressed people that are lying in bed are any help to anybody else? Right? Just, it doesn't happen, right? If you're sick and you feel like crap all the time and you're not interacting with other humans, and you snowball negativity because you're in a dark space, which happens, but you're not helpful to other people. So you need to care for you. You need to look out for you. Don't fall for anything you do for yourself is selfish. Because if you're watching this, chances are you're a fairly kind human. And when you're at your best, you really help out other people, right? So you need to do what you can do to be at your best, right? I'm just going to read this comment from Word. Okay. I guess that's a poem. It's kind of cool. Nothingness doesn't await us. It's oh yeah. Once we get to the other side, yeah, it was kind of cool. Like, even when my husband was sick, it was a few days. in his last couple of weeks, okay, like there was one time I was in his hospital room with him, and because I'm a medium, I could feel this really strongly. But he had so many people in his room that were on the other side that were that he was interacting with them on a soul level and stuff. And I actually excused myself from the room because I felt like I was intruding because he was already part way on the other side. I walked in one day and he said, he goes, this was probably maybe a week before he passed. And he said to me, he goes, can I go home now, babe? Please, can I go home? And I looked at him and I said, yeah, you can go home. And he literally said, goody, goody, goody. He's like, goody, goody, goody. I get to go home, right? This isn't all there is. I talk to people on the other side all the time. This is not the end. This is like thinking about life being the longest thing you'll ever do. Life is actually quite short. And it's like, in the big scheme of things, this is such a tiny part of who we are. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just got another visual given to me or whatever. Okay. So it's like, there's only about in this what we're living and what we're thanks word in what we're living right now is only about 5%. It's probably less, but for ease, 5% of who we truly are. Okay, 95% of us is living different lives. It's still with source. It's in parallel universes. Okay, so this is just such a tiny part of who we are. If we can connect to the rest of what we are, holy man, we're powerful. Okay, my dog is digging. That's what that noise is. He's very cute, but he gets annoying when I get talking. Betty. Oh, anyway, yeah, like you're not limited to this little existence thing here. We're just bigger than that, and connect with it. Okay, like seriously, we need to connect with who we really are. See if peeps need to say anything else. Yeah, okay. I think we might wrap this up. Okay. Maybe next time I'll tell people that I'm going live. Like I say, I'm a 5-2 manifesting generator. I'm a hermit and an outgoing person all at the same time. And it's like, I didn't want to throw this out to like 100 people or whatever and be all nervous. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this, and yeah, so much love until next time. Thanks for showing up.